So we're back again at Headingley, both another qualifiers encounter. This time Leeds have lost. No controversial referee decisions by the coach, the away team coach, not happy because Paul Rowley's a happy man. Toronto are happy, Canada's happy because they have come to Emerald Headingley Stadium. Just please, Phil, make sure we've got the right name.
Absolutely.
Because they've won by 17 points to 16, and Leeds and Salford and Toronto are all on 10 points, and we don't know who is going to be in Super League next year.
Which is exciting. The narrative rolls on. I think the big positive is that Toronto are saying in their short history this is the biggest result they've ever had. To come to a stadium like Headingley, which obviously means so much within rugby league, irrespective of whose home ground it is, and to come away with a 17-16 win that they thoroughly deserved, dogged throughout, got the fantastic long-range drop goal. It's not as if Gareth O'Brien's ever done that before. And that game as well summed up Leeds' season. The only reaction from Kevin Sinfield, apart from seething anger, I think, is one of relief that they have maintained their Super League status. They don't need to go now into any £1 million scenario. But he was quite candid. He talked a lot about rebuilding. He talked a lot about ethos and culture as well. So on the one hand, you've got a supposed giant of the game that are in troubled times. On the other, have you seen tonight the next giant on the horizon?
The game was rubbish.
Yeah, terrible. It was. Let's be perfectly honest. Apart from maybe the drama of the Toulouse-Toronto game in Toronto, we haven't seen much quality in these games. We've seen a lot of games that have had meaning. We've seen some games that have been close. We've had, as we keep being told by everybody, the closest and most exciting eights there's ever been. But if we were serious to take a step back from this and look at the quality of the games, it's poor. And again, I think that was illustrated by something Kevin Sinfield said, that yeah, there needs to be wholesale change in his squad, but where does he find the quality? Is it in the game at the moment?
He did seem very down, didn't he? But it's not his job to get Leeds back up now, because David Fern will be in, well, I said David Fern will be in that role. He won't be, because he'll be in Jimmy Lowe's role. He manages to have coached the team but not done any press conferences, so well done to James Wells on that one.
I think during the week, Kevin Sinfield set a goal for the Leeds team, which was to finish top of the qualifiers. And they haven't done that, so I think that's come as a bit of a surprise to him. I think he has acknowledged the fact, as he has all season, that it's not a team that can close out a close game at the moment. Injuries, every team has injuries. I'm sure Toronto have missed Greg Worthington for a large part of the recent season. He's been very important to them, so yeah, any number of reasons and excuses, I understand that, but I think he has acknowledged publicly for the first time tonight that there is a big rebuilding job to do.
And on Toronto, who of course now need to wait until Sunday, the biggest game of the weekend, not on television anywhere, unless someone illegally Facebook streams it. Hull KR versus Widnes. Hull KR have to win by 13 or whatever the combination.
They have to win by 13 to gain automatic promotion, and then Toronto would have the home game in the £1 million game, the home venue, and obviously who they would be playing would most likely be London, who, without making any assumptions here on a Friday night, are favourites to beat Halifax. So I think for Halifax to win, they'd have to win by a quite a large margin to allow Toulouse to take that final place. I think the big interest now, yes, we'll watch London and see how they do against Halifax, but will the pressure of knowing exactly what they've got to do get to Hull KR, or because they're playing Widnes, who have nothing to play for, rebuilding their squad for next year, some of the players who are going to be important to them presumably won't be playing on Sunday because the young kids that are signing up at the moment. Does that mean that Hull KR have the pressure of knowing what they've got to do, or do Widnes go out there and say, we've nothing to lose, let's spoil their party?
I mean, Hull had nothing to play for tonight and nearly beat Wigan. Same stuff, Castleford, Warrington beat Wakefield, no one cares because we've got the semi-finals next week, the Dream Team announcement as well on Monday, and we've got the England squad to announce next week as well, all three of them, the men's elite performance main squad thing, the Lions and the women's squad. There's no women Lionesses, they don't have a second squad, so just the one squad to look forward to on next week. I think that's announced on Wednesday. But Toronto, they've made history. They are the first Canadian team to come to the city of Leeds and win a match of rugby, and we now see what happens. Paul Rowley has told us they will fly out on Tuesday if they need to fly out. Otherwise, they're off to the pub. Depending on what happens on Sunday. But no pressure on Hull KR at all. Lots of conspiracies now. Leeds have rolled over tonight for Toronto. If they'd seen the game, they'd know that Leeds, as Kevin Sinfield himself said, probably not good enough.
Definitely not good enough.
You take Sinfield himself, Maguire, Burrow, and then this season Hall and Watkins out of the team, and what you end up with. But shame for Ryan Hall. He got his nice little send-off at half-time, though, when everyone was still in the ground, as opposed to at the end when a lot of people had left. Nice video on the screen of all his tries, and he will certainly be missed here at Headingley.
Absolutely, 100%. I think up to the time of his injury, which was at the beginning of these qualifiers, he was arguably in with a shout of being Leeds' most productive player of the season. They've desperately missed him in these playoffs. I think there'll no doubt be analysis on Monday night from a certain player who perhaps used to don the blue and amber as to exactly what's gone wrong with Leeds. One of the problems they have had this year is that they have not made enough metres to play off the back of. A guy who does that, obviously, is Ryan Hall. It's one of the strengths of his game. They've seriously missed it, and him, and his ability to score tries from close in, because they haven't looked like being able to score too many tries by bludgeoning their way over, nor even creating them from further out. So there's a problem for them. Couldn't score a drop goal. They did have a chance. It's a year they'll want to write off. The shame for people like Joel Moon and Ryan Hall is the fact that they can look at some of the teammates they've had such huge success with, who have gone out on the absolute highest plateau you can, and sadly neither of those two have managed to do that. But that's sport, isn't it? It can't all be fairy tales. The exception is finishing at the top. It's not the rule. Hopefully Ryan Hall will go on and prove himself in the NRL to be every bit as valuable to the Roosters as he has been to the Rhinos. Joel Moon, I don't think we've heard the last of him as a player. I think he'll go home, spend some time, look at some offers, but at 30 I can't see him hanging up the boots, whatever the story is at the moment. And yeah, two great players who have made a huge impact on the Rhinos. They go with everybody's good wishes. I think the shame is that the last result in the column for both of them, even though Hall didn't play, was a 17-16 home defeat to a team from Toronto. And I think, with a broader hat on than looking at the quality of these games and the individual perhaps results of clubs, are we entering a new era as a sport if Toronto do make it to Super League? That is a question that will no doubt be answered in the near future. I think they will almost certainly recruit 3/4 of a new team. They did that when they came up from League One into the Championship. I think a lot of that will already be in hand. There's a lot of Super League fans who might be fancying a trip to Canada next year, and all power to them, because if they can get results like that, then you never know, maybe they could add something to Super League.
A lot won't, because we hate Canada and foreigners. I should leave you and go find all the players you need to speak to. I might go have some selfies with Toronto players. But as that man you referred to earlier, who played a lot of his career in the blue and amber, will tell us, you don't always get fairy tale endings.
Absolutely.
Mind you, he at least ended his on the pitch at Headingley.
Well, sometimes you get what you deserve, and what Leeds got tonight was what they deserved over that 80 minutes. It's a fair summation of their season. I think that is the 5th game that they've lost by 1 point, and there's probably another 5 that they've lost by 1 score. Just not good enough to score enough points to beat enough opponents this year. The planning for next year starts with the arrival of David Furner, and a pretty resolute and determined Kevin Sinfield, who I think hated every minute of that press conference. We won't want to have to. Well, he won't have to do it again, because David Furner will be doing it, but he needs to give the man the tools to do the job.
Leeds Grand Final winners 2019, you heard it here first.
Absolutely,
on
100%.
Forty20 TV, and we'll be back on Monday to analyse this, and who'll be in the £1 million game, and the semi-finals are coming up, and the Dream Team, and we won't know the England squad, but we'll still discuss it anyway. So join us on Monday for more exciting rugby league talk. Thank you. Bye-bye.